Okay, this short video will show you how to create some assignments and turn it in using Blackboard. So let's go, and I am going to use this module, 1HIS 528 Synonyms and Source for Historians. So we click on that. The first thing you have to note here is the edit mode is off. You'll find by default the edit mode is on, so I will just switch it on. And you'll notice amongst other things what's appeared here is a little button which will say assessment. So that will appear on all of your Blackboard screens by default, and what we'll be asking you to do is to leave that assessment button there containing absolutely nothing except the turn it in assignments, so that students can't get confused by finding different things on different modules. So if we click on assessment, you'll see that it's quite blank with the exception of these three buttons here, and the one that we're interested in is create assessment, and you'll notice at the bottom of it is turn it in UK assignment. So we click on that, and those of you who have used turn it in before will be familiar then with this screen, and you'll see now this time though that it's framed within Blackboard. So all we'll be doing for the purposes of this little video is an ordinary bog standard paper assignment. So we'll click on that. And here we are. So we need to give it an assessment title. We'll call it HIS 528 Essay 1. And then we need to think about these dates. The start date is the date from which students can submit assignments. So by default that's today. The due date makes sense. Let's say in this case 19th of July, and you can change that to whatever it is that you want to change that to. And you'll remember that the default time now for assignments is 10 AM. So we'll set that. Now post date, this is very important. This is important if you're using grade mark within turn it in to mark your assignments and return them to the students. So that will normally be something like 3 weeks after the due date. So we've got a due date of the 10th of July, so we'll choose something like, I don't know, the 4th of August, how about that, at 12 AM. Up until this point the students cannot see their marked assignments in grade mark, but on the 4th of August at 12 AM they will. Now we need to think also about these options down here. Let's have a look. So you can enter some special instructions if you want to. In this case we won't bother. Generate originality reports for submissions. This is if you're using turn it in for plagiarism detection, which I dare say you will be, so by default we'll leave that on. This option then we need to think about generate originality reports for student submissions. Immediately can overwrite until reports due or on due date. So we will want to choose this option, generate originality reports, which can be overwritten for reasons that we'll see in a moment, because we want to allow students obviously to submit more than once. A student may submit their assignment a week before it's due, have a flash of inspiration then and want to improve that assignment and want to submit another one, so we'll let them do that. You can exclude bibliographical materials from the turn it in search if you want to. We'll leave that as the default no. Exclude quoted material, again we'll leave it as a default no. Small matches, no. Now this is an interesting point. Allow students to see originality reports. People are in two minds about this, obviously, because if you allow a student to submit their assignment and to have a look then at the turn it in originality report, you may say, well, that's helping them learn. That's helping them learn how to reference properly. That's helping them see the mistakes they're making and plagiarizing and so on. Or on the other hand you may argue, well, that's simply helping them to cheat. I think it may be a good idea to let students see the originality reports, particularly at level 4. So we'll say yes on that. We need also to allow students to submit after the due date, because of course a student can submit 24 hours late if they want to, they'll lose 10 marks automatically. A student may need to submit late because they're applying for MCs and so on. Reveal grades to students only on the post date, Well, that makes sense. Obviously you want to wait until you've marked all of them before letting any students see the grade, so we'll say no. Submit papers to the standard repository, we'll leave that as is, and we'll leave these options also. Would you like to save these options as your default for future assignments? We'll say yes, and that will make the whole process of submission much quicker. You've set a post date that is 2 weeks after the due date for this assignment. Your student will have to wait until this date to see the results. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes, I am. And that's it. Turn it in, assignment successfully added. OK. If we want to add another one then, because it will have remembered those defaults, I'll show you how quickly it is. Turn it in, assignment, paper assignment, Essay 2. All we need to think about then is the dates, so we'll have a due date of that one at the end of July, and a due date for this one of the end of August. And that's it. They're created. Simple as that. Thank you.